Yubel Weber joins us now. He is a professor of Russian and Eurasian Studies at the Daniel Morgan Graduate School of National Security here in Washington. First, I want to get your reaction to this late-breaking news of these additional sanctions hitting Iran's metal sector. What do you make of that, given the timing of where we are with the Iran nuclear deal, Hassan Rouhani coming out and saying, hey, we may start doing this if we don't get more help? What do you make of this decision?
So what the Trump administration has done with this is not the only thing that the Trump administration has done. Going after the metal sector, and so in a country which has a really weak currency like Iran, when they sell metals or oil, which I'll get to in a second, that's how they get things like dollars, euros, these hard currencies that they can then use to pay for imports, which their relatively weak currency can't buy themselves. So this comes on the heels of the Trump administration also ending sanctions waivers for the exports of Iranian oil abroad. So with the metals, with the oil, with trying to sanction really every part of Iran's economy, what they're trying to do is really actually crash the entire economy of Iran in order to bring it to the negotiating table. The major point of the Trump administration since it got into power is that they don't like the JCPOA. They don't like the nuclear deal that President Obama negotiated because it only puts a pause on Iran's nuclear activities from 2015 to about 2030, and Trump has been very clear that this only kicks the can down the road. So what they want to do is really put as much pressure on Iran. They've also sanctioned the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization, basically cutting off its access to the international financial markets, as well as cutting off most Iranian banks from the international financial system. They want to get all of Iran back to the negotiating table for Iran to basically give up, for once and all, its nuclear pretensions, its nuclear capabilities.
So there are 5 other countries still signed on to this deal. Where do they stand on this? Basically, the president of Iran is saying, we need you guys to step up or else. So what is their next move?
So the position of Russia and China is that the United States is irresponsible, it is acting too aggressively, and it is acting in a destabilizing fashion. Of course, Russia takes a much more strident anti-U.S. position, China a bit less strident, but in the same realm. The British are supporting the United States, and today when Secretary of State Pompeo was in London, his British counterpart Jeremy Hunt was basically echoing Pompeo's positions, saying that it is up to Iran to bring the situation to an end. That leaves basically the major European states somewhere in the middle. Some European states and major financial firms have set up these what they call special purpose vehicles, these financial organizations which are outside the regular international financial markets in order to facilitate the export of Iranian oil. Those are the things that Iran is really trying to basically press upon for the Europeans, because what Iran's position to basically the Europeans writ large is we are going to take these steps in order to try to defy, the logic of the Americans, but unless you actually come to our rescue, we're going to do more.
So 30 seconds left. Is this deal going to die?
It looks like it is, and not because the Iranians want out, but because basically the Trump administration is not going to take no for an answer. And when it comes to sanctioning the Iranian economy, when it comes to putting pressure on the Europeans, the Trump administration clearly believes that they are going to apply maximum pressure until somebody else blinks, because all of the domestic, let's say, motivations are all there to really try and get at Iran.
All right, Yubel Weber, thank you so much for joining
Thanks so
us.
much.